Hey, good afternoon, everybody. So I'm trying to stall till the Legend spawns, and then I'm gonna go make some food. I'm gonna finally make. I'm gonna try to make a recipe with zucchini. It's gonna be zucchini fries. I've seen 1,000 recipes to make this, and I just decided to do it myself. Like, do it my own recipe. I'm gonna use like the 1,000 of people I watched, their base idea, but I'm just gonna make it my own. Yeah, so let's get into it.
Growing up ain't easy. Too many things to do weekly. Too many thoughts to think deeply. Too many thoughts to be sleeping. Yeah, oh my god, I'm not eating. I feel so empty, I'm receding. And all of my friends are misleading. All of these posts and the lives they're leading. Yeah, oh, no way, I ain't gon' stand for this today. I'ma keep my head down, I'm okay. I don't wanna listen to a word they say. And we all know fear is a slogan, yeah. And we all feel broken, yeah. And we all outspoken. Need someone who could just so sometimes I struggle in this place. Been in circles several days, never knowing the right way. Yeah. Sometimes I struggle in this place. People look the other way, and we all deal with our pain. Oh yeah. No, I'm not down, no, I'm not out. If I got a voice, they gon' hear me shout. I can make my own choice and we've all got a mouth. I'ma make noise, yeah, that I don't doubt. I don't feel failure, not yet. Mistakes they make, you better don't regret. And like Drake said, man, I'm upset. Too many people out here wasting their breath, yeah, yeah. And still I feel like we've just all been going crazy. Too many people need to find themselves some safety. Just take control of your life, it's all day to day, yeah. Don't need nobody else, myself can always save. Sometimes I struggle in this place. Been in circles several days, never knowing the right way. Yeah. Sometimes I struggle in this place. People look the other way, and we all deal with our pain. Oh yeah. Sometimes I struggle in this place. Been in circles several days, never knowing the right way. Yeah. Sometimes I struggle in this place. People look the other way, and we all deal with our pain. Oh yeah.
Alright guys, the best part of the episode. Me. I'm just kidding, that's egotistical of me, isn't it? But anyways, best part of the episode. We're gonna go over the actual recipe. So as I said before, I've seen about 1,000 different recipes for this. And now that I got the prep work done, I figured I'd do the prep work and then tell you the recipe, and then go from there. So, most of the recipes I've seen, the one that inspired me to go through with this, they cut them into coins. And that's cool and all, but I like the whole French fry idea. And it's better dipper, like it's an easier way to dip it and stuff. Another thing I changed from the recipe is the fact that every recipe I saw, they kept the pillings on. One, I can understand why, because the pillings have, I think they probably have more fiber, and they probably have a more dense vitamin count than what the actual squash does. For instance, if you have bananas, and if you eat a banana earlier in its life, before it starts to fully ripen and the peel starts to go brown, the peel will have more potassium in it than the banana will. As the banana ripens, the actual fruit absorbs the nutrients from the peel to keep the fruit healthy the longest period of time. So I can understand why you'd keep the peelings on, but I'm doing this for taste, not really health. And it's already a vegetable, so I'm already like 2 points in the health department. So, you know, we're good. We're good. The other reason I decided to peel it was that, well, I got a few reasons, but the next reason I decided to peel a squash was that most plants, the peelings of the plants have like a waxy texture, and that's to keep the moisture inside. It's a less permeable barrier so that evaporation doesn't occur as quickly, so the plant can maintain a level of moisture to keep it alive. And what that does is it keeps breading from sticking to it. Now, if you watch any of the videos, you'll see that the breading stuck to things all right. But you know what? I'm not a professional cook, so you know I'm not taking that chance. And another reason is, good old grandma, she ain't got no toofuses, so I think leaving the skins on would be disrespectful or something. So, yeah. So another thing is, I think 2 squash, even though they were a bit on the smaller side, which was intentional, by the way. I cut them smaller, you know. My mommy told me size doesn't matter. Anyways, I decided to do them both because I figured more than likely, if I don't, they're going to end up in the compost heap. So, or the trash, or given away to somebody. And I figured, you know, I might as well do a full batch of these guys and see what they turn into. So, here's the plan. Right now we got 2 squash. Anything that wasn't like borderline perfect, I just got rid of. It was about a handful of squash parts. Because I figured this is already going to be probably too much for the baking sheet. So I'm just going to try to wing it. Next thing, of course, let's put these in order. The next thing is, the first thing we're going to dip them in is this flour. Now, I put, I would say this is approximately 1.5 cups of flour, maybe 2 cups, somewhere in the ballpark of there. I added about a half teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and I added about a full teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon and a half of garlic powder. And that's all I put in there because I didn't have, like I wanted to do like turmeric, and some other stuff. And I was going to go for more of an Italian idea, just in case I wanted to dip it in marinara sauce. But I decided to go and give it a bit of a spicy kick. So we went with cayenne pepper and garlic powder, because everybody loves garlic. Next, after it comes out of this, it goes into the egg. After the egg, it goes into the piece de resistance. We got the cheap Wally World brand Italian breadcrumbs. I imagine this would probably be approximately 2 cups, and then I added about a half cup of Parmesan cheese. I'm using the cheap breadcrumbs instead of the pricier ones, because I don't know if I'm going to like this, and I would like to give it every chance to be the best that it can be, but if the breadcrumbs are a deciding factor, then it probably wasn't a good experiment to begin with. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to dip these. I seen them do it on the YouTubes, and it looked like a horrible, painful procedure where they're like taking like 2 and 3 of them and like with a fork, and I'm like, well, what if I took like 6 of them, threw them in a bag of flour, shook them around, separated them from the flour using my fingers, dumped them right into the egg, separate them from the egg, and put them right into the breadcrumbs. Then I can finger freak them, you know, all around to get them coated real nice, and line them up on the baking sheet. And it'll be probably less messy, and I won't have to sit there and painstakingly dip each one. So, we'll see how that works out. So I'm going to just videotape them lining up on the tray like I'm some sort of, like, production master. And, we'll get to the cooking. Alright, so, my plan, it was still kind of painstakingly annoying. But, we're going to stop here, because I spilt a large portion of the breadcrumbs, and I was almost out of egg. So, yeah, that's where we're going to stop. Here's what I got left over. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't want to throw it away, because that's not how I do things. But I'm definitely done doing this for a while. We made 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 30. 30 breadsticks with about 1.5 cups of each batter ingredient. So that's not too horrible. I didn't get a time for this. I don't know what the time is for how long or the temperature. I don't remember what they said. So we're gonna do 350 for 25 minutes and check from there, because I'm kind of I don't eat squash, so I don't really know, but I think it's like density and moisture is kind of equivalent to like a regular white potato. So, I mean, 25 minutes to 35 minutes probably. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll get back to you with the taste test. I forgot something kind of important. For one, I'm using the air fry setting. Just because I heard that air frying is like 10% crispier, and I want crispy. And the second thing is, I'm gonna spray them down with a butter flavored cooking spray to give them a golden brown thingy, so they're not just like bread coated. And I forgot those two things. Thought they'd be worth mentioning. If you have an air fryer, do it. If you don't, your oven will work fine. They might be a bit mushier than they might not crisp up the same, but I mean, I don't really know how these are going to turn out, so we'll see. But I did want to mention, I'm using the air fryer setting, 350 degrees, 25 minutes with a coating of butter spray. And I'm only doing the butter spray on the top because I'm not going to turn each one over to do that. And I'm not going to flip them in the oven because I'm a bit lazy, I guess. But, alright, catch you with the taste test. Alright, so I froze what was left of the zucchini, for starters. Secondly, I already took a bit of a taste test because I wanted to make sure it wasn't going to, like, you know, melt my tongue. And we're good. So here's the plan, right? We'll put this guy back. So we got original, ketchup, ranch, horseradish, nacho cheese. I'm gonna do like the blander ones to the more aggressive ones. So I'm gonna do the horseradish last because I'm pretty sure if I eat that one first, it won't matter what the other ones taste like. So let's do this. Original. It is indeed very crispy. And as far as taste is concerned, out of all the ways that I have eaten zucchini, this is by far the best. Like, this I would eat. Would I do it with the amount of work it takes? Probably not. But, I mean, the amount of effort that goes into making these, I probably wouldn't do it. But, it is by far the best way I have had zucchini yet. Like, no joke, I could snack on these, and it wouldn't bother me. I'm not saying they're great. Like, it's really hard to explain, because I don't love them. But they're passable. And out of all other options, this is, like, really good. Like, I imagine if I used the good breadcrumbs, it would have been, like, substantially better. And, ketchup. Yeah. I mean, I wish I had marinara sauce to try it, but I don't. And I feel that the zucchini is so bland. Well, not bland, but, like, the flavor is so subtle that the ketchup pretty much drowns it out. So it's kind of like eating, like, breaded French fries. Yeah, it's kind of like eating breaded French fries. Alright. Is ketchup better or worse? I mean, that's something you'd have to ask yourself. Yeah, let's move on. Let's move on. Ranch dressing. I probably should have did the ranch, then the ketchup. But it's alright. We're obviously not professional here, so I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Now ranch. Ranch is better. It complements it rather than overpowers it. So ranch is better so far. Like eating them plain is fine, but I think ketchup's too strong, and I think ranch is just like a really good thing so far. Cheese, you can never go wrong with cheese. It's good. It's actually probably the best, but the saltiness comes through like hardcore. Like the saltiness of the nacho cheese. With it being such a subtle, all the flavors in this being so subtle, the nacho cheese saltiness like comes through with like a vengeance, man. You can taste it big time. But yeah, I think anybody that's a cheese lover would take cheese first. It's not the best choice, not the healthiest choice. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, eating them plain would probably be the way to go if you're going health. Maybe the horseradish isn't all that horrible. Ranch would probably be the best tasting for health benefits ratio. I don't know. The thing is, I don't like salty food. So I think my favorite so far would be the ranch or the plain. The nacho cheese would be like right there, not too far behind. But I feel like that would be something that I would do this with. Like I would eat 3 or 4 of them with nacho cheese, then eat the rest with ranch or plain. I don't think I'd eat like a whole plate of them covered in nacho cheese. But, you know. Alright. Horseradish. This one was kind of a... I thought about it, seen it in the fridge, and thought, you know, this is either going to be kind of good or really freaking bad. And with the taste test going the way it's going so far, I think it's just going to taste like horseradish, like crispy horseradish. No, I like that. I like that. Less. Like, I've had too much on there. But that was good. I was kind of thinking something with some spice. And I don't think hot sauce would be good enough. Like, it's not thick enough. That's good. That's another one like the nacho cheese, though. I think, like, I'd do like a sampler platter, right? I would do like exactly what I did here. I might skip ketchup because I don't know, it's just so cliche. But like I would do most of them ranch and plain, and then I would do a handful with like horseradish and cheese. I wouldn't go like balls deep into the cheese or the horseradish. Well, then again, I don't know. I went balls deep in more gross things. Sorry. Yeah, okay. Here we go. Yeah. If you're like me, and you garden because you have no life, or you garden because you like the garden, I'm a mix of both. I like the garden and I have no life. But, if you grow something you don't particularly like, and you want to experiment with it, this is this is great. Like, good old grandma, she makes my fried green tomatoes typically. Well, she does make my fried green tomatoes. Mostly because it's a breakfast thing, and she's up early. And she doesn't do it the traditional Southern way. Like, I made them the traditional Southern way once, with corn flour and or cornmeal and egg. Well, excuse me, cornmeal and eggs. She just pretty much coats them in flour or fries them in butter, which is great. I love them that way. Like, I like them that way better than the Southern way, than the more traditional way. So, like, that's not that bad. But she does the same thing with squash, and she likes it that way. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Like, I would rather have fried green tomatoes 1,000 times over than eat squash once. So, This is, if you have a garden or you have squash and you don't know what to do with it and you have time on your hands, this is great. This is great. Like, what would I rate it? To be fair, and taking into consideration my dislike of squash, I would give it like an 8. Like, if I was gonna rate it with like the mindset of I don't like squash, I'd probably give it like a 6. But to give it like a fair rating, like if you like squash, like this would probably be an easy 8. Like, easy. So, yeah, there we go. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to try to edit this up real cool, like. You'll have to let me know what you think of it in the comments. Look up zucchini fries or recipes with zucchini, and there are, like, a ton of them. The one I watched was this girl with a shark, and I don't remember the thingy, but, I mean, she did the coin one, and her methods or recipe didn't sell me on it. It's just I watched so many and seen so many zucchini fries, I was like, even if it takes a little bit of work, like, this is gonna be a good way of doing it. Because I didn't want to make, like, zucchini fritters or make zucchini pasta, because then you're just, like, you're adding so much other stuff to it, it's not even zucchini anymore. Well, I mean, it is, but I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's like when you go to good old Wally World and you buy one of those Chinese dinners, right? And they say there's chicken included, and then you cook it up, and you go to eat it, and you find like one little chicken nugget in the center of like 4 pounds of rice, and they call it a chicken dinner. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with this. Like, you know, if I make zucchini, cover it in marinara sauce, cover it in cheeses, cover it in, you know, all kinds of other stuff, I mean, it's not really a zucchini dish anymore. You're just replacing an ingredient with zucchini just to completely mask it. This is a zucchini dish, and this is great. So, if you don't like my video, you don't like my recipe, you don't like my ideas, Google it, YouTube it, because there are tons of them for this, and they're all very unique. They all have a very core principles. I think, in my opinion, no matter what you do, no matter what you choose, if you go with my recipe or somebody else's, pill it. Like, pill it. The breading's gonna stick better. It's gonna... You're not gonna have to bite through the skin. It's just... It's better. Like, and as far as dipping sauce is concerned, I think marinara would be great, because it's less harsh as ketchup. Like, it's not as sweet and thick. And I do think ranch is a good choice. But I don't want to sit and talk for freaking 20 minutes. I want to eat because I'm hungry. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time.